Hello guys, today we will be reviewing Tiger 800 Sport, landed by Triumph, Lithuania, located in Vilnius. I will look into it, ride it, and compare it to my humble Tiger 660, and we will compare it. Is it worth it? How is it better? And what I think about it. And see you soon. So, hello again. Reviewing Tiger 800 again. So, there is quite some differences in 800 model that I noticed from driving it. So, what's very obvious is this part of design, that you can turn it on or off alongside. So you can only use this LED light. That it's like a daylight, but it's kind of different. I will show you pretty soon. Right, so they have some different brakes that's a little bit more sensitive, maybe, so when you're pulling they start to work directly. While in 660, well, mine is also 2-year-old now, so maybe a little bit different. So I have to pull a little bit deeper and more consistent, so you have more of the range. This work on a shorter, but it's very brand new. It's only 333 kilometers, so very fresh. Also regarding the light, see, it's a new button right here alongside with cruise control. So with it turned on, you see this bright light. Personally not a fan of this at all. So if you can turn it off, see, it still shines. So at night you will still see it, but now you have a front light. Also a little bit different brake lines. See in front. And what I started to like already is they moved some cables. Right, yeah. So if you've seen my 660 review, that some cables are alongside the screen, right? And they hide it with a little bit of metals right here, some to hold these up. Another difference is these little wind protectors. Especially for today, I took a mesh jacket to test it on some various speeds, and I don't think they are very like different. Well, I would need to ride it for a lot, maybe to feel the difference in different very speeds, but just for riding in a highway or in that city, I didn't feel anything at all that would make a difference. A little bit different pedals, so your rear brake is a different shape. Your gear lever is a little bit different as well. So sitting from 60 straight to 800, I felt a little bit of the difference in the position of the lever and the shifting position. Right, so also the front shocks are now adjustable. I don't think I am good enough to make a use of that as a simple user, a simple driver. This windshield seems kind of very stiff for now against mine. I think it's identical. I think it is. Take some strength in this one. Mine is a lot better after the prolonged use of going up and down. Alright, so yeah, the cruise control is fine. We will talk about it a little bit later. Rear, is it more stiff? I didn't feel a big difference. I like the cedar design. It's a little bit different. It's a bit more cushy and not as sharp edges right here in 660 as for a standard seat. I think this is a pure visual design. I don't think this feels different. Or a passenger wheel, and So in the 660 it sits a little bit wider, and it's maybe more comfy on the longer rides, but depending on your length of your legs, it may have to cut inside of your thigh a bit. So especially on the short, that low seat version, after some time your butt hurts, and it cuts the blood supply for your legs, so you have the sausage legs, the feeling in that. Handling is extremely similar. Can't really say. Maybe it's even better. Maybe it's tiny bit stiffer, but it's a new bike, so there is some difference between if you take this after 10,000 kilometers. It will be different. So don't judge on that. Everything can be changed. It can get older and smoother. So yeah, the engine is more lazy. So from the clutch position that you start beginning to roll from start, it feels kind of easier a bit. The sound, it depends. 660 feels sharper on the roll from mid RPM. I don't push this bike very hard because it's a new one. I don't want to ruin it, and but I like the 660 more on the mid-range pull. On neutral gear, it feels 800 maybe feels more heavy, so I kind of like that. It's in a good way. It's not as sparky like R6 or whatever, and the 660 is a bit closer into that. So under low RPM, and that little twitch is let me try to show you, so I can compare it to mine currently right now. Even these little RPM like needles are kind of bigger, and it revs tiny bit higher, so it feels a bit boring. So it's a lazier engine. I think 660 has an edge over that. It's more intriguing, faster, and yeah, the weight difference, I feel it's a little bit, maybe in a handling perspective, tiny bit better, but you have to ride it a lot to feel that. Really, those who don't have these two models in their garage wouldn't feel that much of a difference until we take it to the track. So I like the exhaust, the size of it. So in my last topic I said about it, in 660, if they keep making that progress, this would be made for off-road version, so you didn't have to convert as your exhaust ends right here. So it's kind of a shallow. If you would make a rally version of this, please try and do it. So yeah, I like it. Maybe it's also heavier. The catalyst is also lower. There is some cooling down here, I think. Yeah, so more exposed parts, and you can find this part as well in some 660s. Mine didn't came in that. Maybe it wasn't option in mine. Can't really say about it, but I've seen those in 660s as well. Okay, what else? I've seen the difference, how you adjust the chain. So mine will end here, and think is the bolts are more exposed. So this little bit change reminds me of a Honda Hornet a bit, and the older ones. I'm not sure how the new ones make, but yeah, I think it's like more of the Honda way. Mine have exposed, 660 have two bolts. Also this exposed caliper, it's bronze color, so tiny bit different. I don't think I noticed that on mine. Yeah, same rear shock. I think the adjustment feels the same, kind of heavier than mine a bit, but it's just the turning speed. Same clicks, same feeling on how it goes. Let's make it lighter as I'm light boy. Yep. Feels quality, you know, that you try them, that you make, you touch things and thing works. That's what I like it. Gears are maybe tiny bit longer. That's normal for different engine, and yeah, my the legs are modified. Also, these are different, so they're a little bit longer than on 660. Yeah, and that's visually about it. So can't really say much more about it. And these are black. I think mine are the same color. Maybe they're exposed by a bit, maybe for a more efficient and bigger radiator. There's not much into specs about it. I could read more. Yeah, the brakes, the brake improvement in brakes, feels that they're different. How are they better, and how will they hold in a track or exposed I mean stress over time? It's time will show. We are not sure. We need a better driver than I am to see the real difference in them, how they perform. And let's take a short drive, and I want to check a few things about the engine vibrations compared to 660. In the city, I instantly saw a little bit more fuel consumption, maybe more spirited driving, but it requires less of the power to move. But I think the fuel experience should be normally a little bit better. I think regarding how you hold the handles in neutral, it feels identical to a 660. Can't really see a difference on that same RPM. And let's see if they improved the fuel mapping. So basically same speed. Yeah, as you see the RPM wobble. Who haven't checked my 660 second part review should check on that. Yeah, this is going downhill. This little parking lot. Yeah, now it feels alright. And going it a bit down. Yeah, it still shakes without, maybe due to displacement it shakes, or it now it jiggles. Yeah, I think I can't really explain it that well, but the smoothness isn't there. Straight line, I think not much of a downhill, maybe 1 degree, kinda smooth, but I feel the jerking and the fueling going downhill over. Yeah, doesn't like that. It's tiny bit better than the 660. Also, as the engine is kinda new, so maybe those little imperfections might fix themselves a bit, or maybe of the first service or retune they got a little bit better in a 660, but I don't believe that it will fix that. I think both of these engines are a little bit flawed with the fueling. Maybe it's too much air or whatever, not enough fuel. I don't tune engines, so I'm not sure. I'm just here to say what I feel. I would prefer a little bit more smoothness on the simple go without the throttle. Yeah, it shakes underneath me a bit, like jiggles. in front and back, you know, that it's struggling to keep up. And same test also comes back alive with 5% off. And after the lower RPM, after how you accelerate and de-accelerate, it starts, yeah, at about 2000 start to jiggle again a little bit, so yeah. A little bit different, and yeah, 0 to 5% pull, still a little bit wobbly, and you feel, yeah, the difference. I just twist it a little bit. Maybe better, maybe worse, depending on the throttle position. Yeah, I think the engine family is the same, so they share the common problems. Also, what I noticed, let's drive here. I can't remember being here. Oh, false neutral. I mean false second. So yeah, there is extra sounds here. 660 also had these, but the 660 had the sounds from here that something wobbles the plastic, and this extra sound from little potholes, I don't know if the camera or the microphone can catch them on the pothole. So there is extra noises about, but it's metallic noise, that something is rubbing against something inside. At the first, what changed here, maybe these parts, but I'm not sure. Need some time and to see how things go and where that sound is coming from, right? So currently there is not much sound coming from the front as the 660, but it has a new problems in the front. So what I would like for a Triumph to maybe as a top brand, I think you can just really well, I think we should turn around. But yeah, should little fix these small issues with the. I think no, it's a cheap motorcycle in there, but I think it's still not a Scrambler 400, so it's still more premium. So fixing that would be great, because if you ride a little bit of the off-road, not mean like off-road like you do with the motocross, but on not uneven road, and let me close this because there is a lot of wind, you don't feel that premium over the Kawasaki that also rattles everywhere. Even the Kawasaki not always rattling. The quick shifter is roughly the same, maybe due to displacement it makes things a little bit smoother, but don't think that much of a difference. Maybe the level throw of the gearing is tiny bit shorter than a 660. Maybe just the mileage difference or the stiffness of the motorcycle, mine being a little bit more older. I think the gearboxes might be a little bit different. Let's return to a highway on camera right now and see. Couldn't show into fifth somehow. Fifth, right. Well, right now going on a 3000 RPM and going in a slight uphill right here. I think the vibrations compare to mine, because this road I'm going, what the hell is that? And this road almost few times a week in summer. So now after 4 I start to feel vibration in my hand that felt about 3000 in mine. So yeah, so when you start a little bit of vibrations, it's a little bit postponed. I think also already due at a larger displacement. Is it felt bad or something? No, it just feels a little bit further away. I think I have around the same RPM on mine. Let's ride 100 on the highway and our little highway in the Vilnius and see what RPM we can get. I think I got about close to 6000 on mine on vanilla OEM chains and sprockets. Oh, the downshifts are sweet. And on the go, same as 660, very smooth acceleration, no jerks, absolutely flawless. Failed to drop into 5. 6. So yeah, a little bit lower RPM, I think less than 1000. Feels fine, absolutely cool. Could sit that for a whole day, and there is a lot of wind today, a lot. I don't know, and the microphone is under the helmet, so you won't feel that as well. Let's try open. Yes. I wouldn't say there is a difference regarding these boys. I still feel the wind in the same my mesh jacket in the 660 without this wind protection. You can try opening the lid a bit. Unbelievably windy. In cruising, I think I would get the point to 800. That it may be extra length. Is it chain, sprocket, or the transmission? I'm not sure. We need to check what's different. But for a simple user, if you commute, well, let's look at how to use the cruise control. Some made it use. Oh, it doesn't want to hold it. Oh, okay. The stability is nice. But going up, it turns it off. So I like that, but it took time for it to turn it off. yeah, the first time somehow I made it a little bit easier when pushing. It's not very comfortable position to turn it on. You want to turn it off, you have to really twist the throttle, and it doesn't move fast in a way. Brakes are really snappy. It's good to have one, but it's not the most comfortable cruise control I have been in. 4, 3, 2. Very nicely done, Triumph. Please stay down. Yeah, the little bit of weight difference, and but I like it. Couldn't say that it's in a bad way. Let's try to opening the screen. Sorry if there is more wind, but I have to see. Yeah, not much of kilometers done. And maybe you will hear the extra noises in there in the suspension. Can't really say if it's a suspension or the assembly of the front bike. And look at this noise for accelerating. I don't think it's that good. I think 660 has a little bit of the edge of the sharpness. But you know, sound is it's what you like, so I can't really judge about that. Maybe you can change the exhaust or do something about it. The extra torque is always nice, the extra power, never say no to it, but the difference in noise, even to the same 3 cylinders, is different. Yeah. Again, that brushing sound of the metal coming there. Yeah, the brakes are very snappy. But you remind me that all these accelerations were made in road mode, because 660 doesn't have a sport mode. This one has sport. Let me sport again. Maybe a tiny bit sharper. Get into neutral. Here it is. Let's see if in sport it's much different, because I mostly am comparing it to 660, so sport isn't really what I'm very interested in, but it's an extra feature that you will have in this. And other things, well, you have more options, so well, more temperature gauge. I think mine only goes up to 3. Interesting. The brightness, the temperature gauge is extra. Yeah, you can connect your intercom into here. But you know, if you're watching this, you're mostly comparing it to 660, so mostly I should recommend see you other reviews that directly compare this bike to some competition, to other vehicles, and they can show you the more of the specs of this yeah, the Triumph app intercom. Yeah, that's about it. not the things I'm very interested in a bike. Can be useful for some if you prefer that. I am not that much. Better to have those than don't have them, but I don't think there is a much difference in acceleration by the feel of it. Maybe tiny bit. I think the quick shifter goes smoother in the low RPM due to displacement. And with the clutch in, good. I kinda like it. Everything is fine with this, except those few things I mentioned before. Still somehow want to move with the clutch, but the quick shifter is working maybe a bit better in some way, as I said, due to displacement again. But no magic has been done from the 660. So roughly, who is this for bike? Is it worth it? I think if you have the money, sure, why not? There may be a little bit of interesting sound benefits of the 660 engine, and it's maybe introduced earlier, so there is like a more information about it, and the problems or the things have been researched more. But other than that, if your funds allow it, why not get the 800? There is no much benefit. What a bit running costs? It's miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. I think the fuel tank should be also the same. It might be a little bit bigger, but is it really? Is it the thing you want? The more 1 liter more per fuel tank? Is it really will change your choice when choosing a motorcycle? I don't think so. So if you have the money for 800, go for it. Unless you really like the little bit of different note of 660, then there is a, or the fuel efficiency, or less options. If don't know if it's really a point in that there is not much difference that will break on a 660 or 800 that will make a difference. Maybe you can even put some things like these wind protectors on 660. Yeah, kind of interesting, mostly because of the look. Kind of dig the look of them. So yeah, the Sport is a little bit more shaky. I will go back to a road. Get it? Yep. Still that has same iconic shift, maybe a little bit less, but everything's very, very similar. So main difference we will see is brakes and their feel. Little bit of more power. Do I really feel the big difference when accelerating in daily? Then maybe 10-15%, not gonna lie. So here I would push a little bit more. It has some struggle getting into second or third. Maybe it needs a more run-in period. Other than that, from accelerating from here to here, nah, guys, I wouldn't say it would make a big difference in daily commute for you if you want 800. I feel that a lot of more power that I can't really access right now and don't want to is in 9, 10, 11,000 RPM that I won't push, as this is not my bike. So maybe look, if you're really interested in 800, look at a fully run-in 800, test it out, or look at the reviews that has already made that. And they need to be good racing drivers really to feel that difference. There is more punch, but is it that obvious in 800? If you would hide the 800 logo and you would give me this bike, I don't think I would feel the difference in this riding style I'm doing right now, this 800. Yeah, I think I can say about that I wouldn't feel a difference. I would say, oh, maybe it's a 2025 660 and maybe it's a little bit more options, different body kit, just hide the 800 and sell it me as 660, and I would believe you. I would believe that it's maybe a facelifted 660. Not lying about that at all. Maybe if we drive over 8,000 RPM, and as now would have 660 in my garage to compare it on a high RPMs, yes. Maybe the truth is hiding in the high RPMs on these things, because, as I said, no particular big difference for me. Can I go into this lane right now? Good. So yeah, by the looks, love it, because I have 660. Would I buy one if I had an option in 23? Not sure, because newer 25 have everyday connectivity things, the cruise controls and everything. Like on this one, I'm really interested in this temperature gauge, because my always is on 3 when it's warm up. It has extra 2. Is it overheating? Or mine is underheating? Is it correct? So I'm not English. Yeah. So that's about it. I have a long traffic jam to get into. If you find this review useful and it really made a choice, write a comment please. I'm really interested. If you find something that you would like me to change in my reviews or some information, let me know. I'm really interested in your comments, what you think about it, and thank you, and see you later.